Today, I'm talking about 3 ways that you can add more of you inside of your business. So, as entrepreneurs, we get into this and we want to really have a business that fits around our life instead of a life that fits around our business. And it's also funny how we're not really sure how to do that. And so, we often reach for what works for someone else. And then we can have a really hard time like making it our own and kind of figuring out what our business looks like and what really works for us, because that's kind of the funny thing about having zero rules and limitations. And it's almost overwhelming, right? It's almost hard to kind of figure out what to do. And so these 3 ways really put more of you inside of your business. And I think that they're pretty easy and pretty applicable things that you can do. So the first one is using your brand story. And if you want to learn more about exactly how to write your brand story and use that to make yourself stand out online, you can check out my mini masterclass for September where I talk all about brand story. But basically, it's this: your brand story is the most unique and valuable part of your business because you can use that to connect with clients in a way that nobody else can. Nobody's going to have the exact same story that you do. It's just that you actually have to tell it. And there's a little bit of knowing of like how to tell it and how to make it actually work for you. So if you watch that mini masterclass, I give you a formula where you can easily use your brand story to write captions and content that connects with people. But basically, it's this: that people just want to feel seen, heard, and understood. And when they know that you help people with the exact same problem that they have, or you have solved that exact same problem for yourself, they're like, oh, this person gets me. They know where I'm coming from. So if they understand my problem so well, they're also going to understand the solution. And if that solution worked for them, that solution works for all of their clients, I know that solution is going to work for me, because they're trying to feel secure in the decisions that they're making. And so one of the best ways to make somebody feel really confident in investing in whatever it is that you're selling is by using your brand story. So that is the thing that really makes you stand out online as an individual. It's the slant of your business that's different, even though you may solve the same problem as somebody else, even though you may have the same like product or service, it's different, right? So for example, there's so many different business coaches that you can hire, right? And they have a different specialty, or they have maybe their own process or something like that. But if you are coming out of corporate and you're wanting to start your first business, you're gonna feel really attracted to somebody who has a similar story. They were in corporate, they started their own business, now they teach people how to do the same thing, versus someone who maybe um, never worked for somebody else and they were always an entrepreneur, because they're not really going to understand where you're coming from. They're not going to understand all of the same thought patterns and processes and things that have been ingrained in you that you're trying to figure out how it applies to this new thing of building your business, like someone who has been there and done that, right? So your brand story is the most unique and valuable thing that you have, and it is the number one way to add more of you in your business, because it's not going to be the same. So yes, you can look at different people's processes and things like that, of like how to start a business or their process for onboarding clients or offboarding clients and all of those type of things, and take from that stuff that's really going to help you learn something about things you didn't know. Because let's face it, as entrepreneurs, we have to learn a lot of stuff that we just didn't know before because we didn't need to know it. But you also want to make sure that when you're really customizing your business, no matter what your service is, that you're leaning into your experience and expertise, not from a certification, not from how many clients you have, but really leaning into the experience and expertise that you have from your brand story, which is unique and different than anybody else's. The second way that you can add more of you inside of your business is by making sure that you are always listening and looking and paying attention to what's working, what's not working, and what's kind of working. Because it is great to try on different things. I always talk about it kind of like trying on clothes, right? You can go put on an outfit and see, does this really work for me? Does it not work for me? Like, it doesn't mean you have to buy it. So you can experiment with styles and things like that. You can try something on. You can buy, a new pair of earrings or something like that, and then decide, I don't think gold hoops are my thing. Like, Shannon wears them all the time, but I don't think it's for me. And you don't have to keep them. So that is often what it's like as we're building our business. We learn about different things, different strategies that work for other people. We have to figure out how to make it our own. So it's really important that you're always checking in with yourself. Do I like this? Do I not like this? Is this getting me results? Is it not getting me results? Because we don't want to continue to do something that isn't really working for us, because we're going to waste a lot of time and we're just going to kind of feel stuck in, lots of other things. So the second way that you can make sure that you're putting more of you inside of your business is by being really aware of what's working and not working. Don't get attached to something because it worked for somebody else. That's not a good enough reason. You want to make sure that you're always aware and paying attention and tweaking and shifting, because sometimes some things that worked for you last year are just not going to work for you this year. Some things that worked last month are not going to work for you this month. And so the best thing that we can do is constantly be adaptable by making sure that it's really right for us. Okay, so the first one is using your brand story. The second way to put more of you in your business is making sure that you're being really aware of what's working and not working and being adaptable. The third way that you can really put more of you inside of your business is by making sure that you're using your brand voice. So using your brand voice means thinking about your brand story, thinking about the things in your business that are working and not working for you, and making sure that you are showing up every day as yourself in the way that best represents you. So what I mean by that is, if video is great for you, show up in video. If writing blog posts is best, then make sure that you're really showing up in blog posts. But it's really about showing up as yourself and not being afraid to tell people about your brand story, not being afraid to tell people what it is you do, not being afraid to use the content, whether it's blog posts, video, captions, to really tell people who you are, what you do, and who you do it for. Now, if that last one kind of gets you and you're not really sure and you're like, well, I don't really know if I'm writing about the right things, or I don't know if I have the right content categories, or I'm not really sure what my pillars are. Like, you've probably heard all of these different terms, but it's kind of the same thing. Defining your brand voice is making sure that you're telling people who you are, what you do, and who you do it for. But if you need help really digging into those, then I would love to work with you through Discover Your Brand Voice, where we come up with a custom content strategy just for you. So that means we sit together for 2 hours and we workshop it. We define all of the content that you should be sharing that really shows your brand voice and who you are and what you do. And we practice writing captions together so you know exactly how to take those content categories and put them into place so that you are connecting with potential clients, connecting with the potential clients that are right for you. And once you understand all that and you have all those dots connected, like, it's so easy to sit down and write content. It's so easy to create captions that are really connecting with people and making it easy for them to connect with you. So the 3 ways that you can put more of you inside of your business are using your brand story, making sure that you're constantly assessing what's working, what's not working, what's kind of working. And the third one is making sure that you're using your brand voice to create content that tells people who you are, what you do, and who you do it for. And if you want to know more about Discover Your Brand Voice, I'm going to put the link below this video so you can click and see if this looks like a really good next step for you right now. And it's especially helpful if you're trying to pivot or you're just not getting like the engagement that you really want to get. And you can sign up for a free consultation so we can talk about it and make sure that it really is a good fit for you.